The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, has condemned the recent outbreak of violence in Rivers State, which led to the tragic deaths of a police officer, Inspector David Mbada, and Samuel Nwigwe, a vigilante operative. The killings occurred on Tuesday when supporters of the state governor, Sim Fubara, and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, that's the FCT, Nyesom Wike, clashed over the tenure of the 23 local government chairmen. Reacting to the development, the IGP directed the Commissioner of Police in Rivers to heighten security measures across the state.
In response to these heinous acts, the Inspector General of Police has directed the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, CP Olatunji Disu, to heighten security measures across the state and institute thorough investigations into the killing of the police officer and the vigilante operative, as well as the general violence which erupted in the state. The Inspector General of Police has specifically deployed operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team, IRT, to assist the Rivers State Command in apprehending the killers of the police officer and the vigilante member. The IGP seriously warns individuals and groups of people who have a penchant for senseless attacks and mindless killings of police officers and other security operatives across the country to desist forthwith, as the fullest force of the law will be meted on them.
Well, the publisher of the Beam newspaper in Port Harcourt, Obi Ndukwe, joins me now for an insider's look at the crisis in Rivers State. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, not just as a publisher, as a media person, but of course as an insider, as a resident of Rivers State.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on developments in Rivers State, and how bad are things there in terms of the impact that this face-off between the sitting governor and the FCT minister is having on governance in Rivers State?
Well, whatever is happening in Rivers State now was never unexpected.
Oh.
Yeah, it was never unexpected.
How come?
In the sense that tensions were already very high. The two parties involved, the two groups involved, their supporters had been at daggers drawn. So it's not strange that whatever is happening. But it's strange to the extent that for a very long time we've had some kind of peace. Maybe I'll call it relative peace, easy calm, uneasy calm, right, in the state. But, the developments now, you can see that things have gone the other way. Things have actually deteriorated, I can tell you. Now, with the development now, yesterday we saw the governor talk about the local government administrator, the heads, taking over the administration of the local government. And then today, the caretaker list was sent to the assembly, the three-man assembly, and then they were screened and then sworn in. And then I can tell you that this is just the beginning of what we're going to be seeing. Why? The other group, the supporters of the minister of the FCT, particularly the state assembly, under Martins Amehule, which people refer to Amehule and 25 or 26 others. They are already in court, challenging the issue of caretaker, the issue of who is the authentic speaker, and then the rest of the matters. In fact, the appeal court slated 20th, that's tomorrow, for hearing and maybe ruling. We don't know when the judgment will come. And I think that they have been kind of calm, waiting for the courts to decide. Right. There have been a plethora of, judgments which actually empower them. In fact, they went to court, got the first judgment by Justice Omotosho of the Federal High Court, which says Amehule is the speaker with the others. But again, as events, unfolded, we saw the court, one of the courts, saying that the speakership rested with Okojombo, that is leading two others. That's about three of them. But a lot of people have forgotten that even the Okojombo group, the three of them, were suspended by Amehule and his group a day after the assembly was destroyed, was bombed. They were suspended and were never called back. No court No assembly sat to record them. So now for a court to say, you are the speaker, you can sit with 2 others, whatever that means, we don't know. But I think that this other group, in fairness to them, they've been calm waiting for the court to decide. The 27 of them, yes. But again, it goes beyond the lawmakers. We are talking about supporters now. There are a lot of people who don't even have this information. Some people don't even want, they are not interested in the facts of the matter. They are not interested in the judiciary and whatever they are saying.
And that makes it even more complicated.
Yes, that makes it more complicated. Yes, because a lot of people, even those who analyze the issue, who comment on the issue, very many people don't even have the facts of the matter. They don't even know that there is a judgment of the Federal High Court which has not been vacated by an appeal court. In fact, the other faction has gone to the appeal court to challenge it. And while this is on, we are having other cases coming up. Now the appeal court says we are going to consolidate all.
Right.
Status quo presently remains. What it means is that the assembly that got the judgment, you remain. You, the caretaker, the local government chairman or whatever extension they may have gotten, you remain. But nobody is listening. And like the last speaker said, the governor probably is acting.
Where do you think all of this is going? And the question that's been asked is, what are the elders in Rivers State doing about this situation? Because it does seem that Rivers State is a divided state right now.
But the truth of the matter,
what are the elders doing?
I've said it before. The elders, do they really have a role to play? Who listens to the elders? The time we used to have elders speak and the people listen, it's long gone.
What do you think is responsible for that?
Well, it's because of money politics. It is who pays the piper that dictates the tune. It is whoever is in charge, whoever holds the red pen or whoever holds the money that decides what goes on. And even the elders you're talking about are on the payroll of these leaders.
Wow.
So it's even
on both sides.
Yes, on both sides. So it's even very difficult for them to make, take a position and then it's implemented. Nobody is listening. You're even talking about the elders. What of the religious organizations? What of the churches? These people you're talking about, probably they may even be attending the same church, the same faith. Where are the leaders of the churches? Who is talking? Why? Because it has not been in their character to listen to these people. Why? Poverty, hunger, desperation. Everybody wants to get something from government. And that's why you see people taking sides without really bothering about the rightness or the wrongness of the issue. So the elders, I don't want to blame them. I don't want to put them on the spot. But the truth is that they are trying whatever they think they can. But the question is, are the people involved listening to them?
Is there a sense that all of this crisis, this political crisis going on, or the political face-off between both gentlemen, the governor and the FCT minister, is it really about the people of Rivers State, or is it just their own personal interest? That's good. Very obvious.
Everybody will always say
but
it's about the people. But is there a sense
in Rivers State that this is really about us, this fight?
Everybody claims to be fighting for the people. But the truth of the matter is that if they are actually fighting for the people, they will also let the laws take its course, because the laws are for the people, not just about those who are in power. But the truth is, politically, it's about power play. It's about who is in charge. It's about who is going to probably produce the next government. It's not even about now, because I think that even the weakest side, to an extent, is waiting for the 2027 elections. And then, of course, the governor needs to assert himself now to be able to maybe run election in 2027. And then you also have a situation where you need to control the grassroots. That's why you see the battle. In fact, this crisis is actually because it was internal before it became known to the public. Just second month of the governor's election, and that's when this matter started. And it was about local government. In fact, there were rumors that the local government councils were going to be dissolved and caretakers set in place. So these other people had to move. That's why the State Assembly moved to, first of all, repeal the 2018 law, which gave the power to the governor.
How concerned are you with the heightened security now? We heard from the spokesman of the police that the IG has given marching orders, that security has to be heightened in Rivers State. And then you have the youth who are lending themselves to, to be used by both sides. Yeah,
it's a welcome development. In fact, I was long expecting the IG to step in, and therefore, what we hear, the police have taken over the local governments. Even some of the swearing in of the caretaker members took place in different places, not in the council secretariat. And then, of course, the CP had earlier said this, that they were waiting for the appeal court to decide on the matter. So he's neither for this nor for that, and that's what it ought to be. But like I said, a lot of ignorance, a lot of sentiment. People are so, even if they know the truth, even if you take it and give them the papers and say, this is what it is, they are not interested because some of them are eager to take over. Some of them
and the
are
political
eager.
gladiators are taking advantage of this.
Exactly.
Is there a way forward? Do you think this is likely to be resolved beyond the courts?
I said it before. I said it before. Political solution.
Right.
There's a political solution. If they continue the way they are, of course, they are going to get to the Supreme Court. And you never can tell who it will favor. But I've always said to people, the noise will favor the governor. But the law is likely going to favor Wike and his group.
There's no better place to leave it tonight.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Ndukwe, publisher of the Beam newspaper, a Port Harcourt-based publication. She's also president of Citizens Quest for Truth Initiative, and that's an advocacy group. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.